Hello everybody, and welcome back to Theater Rat Gaming and another episode of the Sandbox Kids. Today, we are going to look at the celebration we did on the 4th on a live stream. So, let's take a look. There we go. There we go. So, happy Independence Day.
Too. I saw a rabbit fall into one of those holes too. It was kind of funny. It was just hopping, and then it just hopped right in the hole. I'm like, well,
excellent.
Rip.
That's great. Welcome back, everybody. Happy belated Independence Day to all of you. Now, today, what we're going to get started doing is we are going to work on a secret project that we've been planning for a while, but the first thing we're going to actually need to do is get some potion brewing going. And I could just brew up a few potions to start this project, but really I want easy access to a lot of them easily and quickly. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build a little potion brewer. Let's get to it. Alright, so we are down here in the labs and the tunnels and all. And I'm looking around and I'm seeing, I think this would actually also, I did a little bad construction there, but we're going to fix that when we do this anyway. But this, I think, would be a great place to put a little potion room. So we're going to go ahead and start digging out a little area right here. Alright. Well, we have dug out quite a substantial hole here, and this should be large enough, I believe, to accomplish our goals here. So let's get underway. Well, we just popped upstairs to grab some water, and we noticed there's a little trader dude here. And of course, since we're running the player head mod, he sells all kinds of, well, in the mini block mod, he sells all kinds of different little things. So let's grab some of these up. Alright, so we now have gotten every single mini block we can get from this guy, and I don't see any other really useful trades here, so... Alright, so we have a gray and a white trader llama head, and the watering trader head, and all the other little mini blocks. Awesome, awesome sauce! Alright, now the reason we went upstairs to get water was to test this out. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if we stick water bottles in here, they will get sucked out, which means we need to go ahead and lock that hopper except for when the potions are done brewing. And then we will have a chest here for water bottles. And that will feed in, and the water bottles are there. Because the hopper's locked, it is not going to do anything. Now we're going to have to obviously deal with moving this to a place where we can power it so that it turns off. And this is actually the floor in the, the ceiling inside of the redstone room, so we can't do anything about that. And then we need a hopper leading in the top. And that's where all of our ingredients will go into once they come around the glass tubing. So on the back wall, we have 11 different dispensers that are going to be for all the different types of potions you can make. Unfortunately, that does include some that we aren't going to have ingredients for, because the turtle shell actually is an ingredient and we don't have any of those. So I just realized something. The water can't flow more than, I believe it's 7 or 8 blocks. So we can't have an 11 block long thing that gets picked up by water. So we're actually going to have to change this out, and I think we're just going to cut the Turtle Master one. Alright, so I think we got our potion selector panel put in place. We actually have indicators up top to see whether or not there's items in these droppers, so we don't have to actually open it up and check. And when that is full, as we can see, the lamp does turn on. This is going to be the glass tube with the water in it, and all of the items are going to flow around, and then they're going to go up, and then they're going to spiral down into our hopper up here, like some sort of a beaker type system. So now we need to add in the nether wart, which I am going to actually add a selector switch to, just in case you want to use this to make potions of weakness. And then we'll have the redstone, glowstone, and dragon's breath over here. Alright, I believe I have our winding pipe going down to our brewing stand all set up. And so now we're just going to throw a couple items into it and make sure that they all make it around and into it. And the first thing they do is fail. So that worked out well. Alright, that looked like it worked that time, so I think we are set on that. Alright, so I have now come up with a system that I believe will work for our additions. So we're going to have redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, and then dragon's breath. And basically what it does is this lever right here will power these redstone, which will then extend this block, which when this redstone torch goes on, it will then make this block transfer that redstone signal up to the dropper here, if that's extended. So when this is turned on, this lamp will be on, so indicating that this additive is being added, and this is extended, and then as we cut that line, that will flick on, and then of course it will turn back off. And you only heard one click that time because only one of them was extended. But if I do all of them, we heard all 4 clicks. And they are delayed a little bit just to make sure that there's time that the additive before it will make it in first. Obviously, we'll have to pick between one of these. You can't do both. But we do want the ability to choose to do neither as well, so I can't just make it a toggle switch. Because if I made it a toggle switch, then if you ever decided you didn't want to extend the duration or the potency, then you would have a problem because you wouldn't be able to turn it off if it was a toggle switch. So, there we go. And then we have our 11 across the back, and we have linked this up to that system. So once you've selected all your additives and whether or not you want netherwort, you then come over here, and you just click that, and that works. Now, the one thing we haven't done is we haven't done the circuit, but basically if I just take one of these and put it over there, we should be good. The one main problem I do have is up there I do have redstone lamps to tell me whether or not these have ingredients in them. Because of the moving piston, I can't get one in for this guy because there's nowhere to put the comparator where it won't either get messed up by the water or be broken by the piston. I tried to think of some other ways. There's got to be a way to do the circuit down further, which would then allow us to take the signal off the back end. But I just haven't figured it out, and I just want to get this done. So I think I'm going to go ahead and ignore that problem, and we can worry about it in the future if it becomes an issue. But really, all we got to do is just every now and again check the stock. So I'm not too terribly worried about it right now. Alright, so on this side, I did have to change it up a little bit. What I actually did is I ran a redstone signal straight into the block that gets extended. And the reason I had to do that was because even the redstone torch alone, without the repeater, was adding enough ticks of delay that this would actually put out the item after these first couple items would have made it up in. So that would have made the netherwort come in later, and obviously that's not an option. So what I did was I went ahead and I did that, and I actually moved the repeater out to this spot here, because these ones have enough travel distance that if they fire first, this still has time to catch up, and then these ones will fire at the exact same time as that one, so that can catch up as well. So that actually worked out okay. I did a little bit of testing with just random items and seeing which one would make it to the hopper first, and it seems like right now at least that should be all right. So I believe I've got that sorted and figured out. Again, I don't have a great way of doing a stock indicator on this, but again, we'll just check it and we'll be okay. Now, as far as this hopper goes, I'm not quite sure what to do. I could add a timer that as soon as you hit one of these buttons, the timer sets off and it waits, and then it will go ahead and let go once the timer's complete. But the problem I have with that is it's not gonna be the same length depending on how many items are in the system, so it will definitely take a different amount of time to filter out depending on how many items you decide to add to the concoction. And so that seems like it could be a problem, because you could do something as simple as like 2 items and you can have a potion, and you could do something as complex as I think it's 5 different items, especially if you use the dragon's breath. So what I'm thinking is this might end up being a manual shut-off switch here to get this to work properly. The other thing we're going to have to do is make sure we don't just start feeding extra water bottles into the system. So we're going to have to lock this hopper whenever this hopper is unlocked. Alright, well, here we go. We've built the room, decorated it up, got it looking pretty sinister but kind of cool. It is where we're going to be doing all our brewing. Now, of course, these lights will probably be on, as will all of those, once we get everything in here and stocked up. But that is going to do it for this room. Now we just got to stock everything up and actually give this bad boy a go. Make sure that it does make our potions. So let's get to it. Alright, well, we have set this up pretty well. We filled it up, but then I did realize I forgot a couple things, and we may want to add them in later. I'm not going to worry about it right now, I don't think. But we don't actually have a slot, so we cut out Turtle Master on purpose. But one of the main ones in order to make a potion of weakness you're going to need is a fermented spider eye. Also, to make some of the alternate potions, like invisibility or harming, you need to have a fermented spider eye as an add-in. So I'm thinking at some point, we do have the space, and I think it would be possible to add in a fermented spider eye right here, and then add in a fermented spider eye right here, and then we could go ahead and throw in turtle shells right here for the Turtle Master as well. And that would get this to make literally every potion in the game, at least as of 118. Now, when 119 comes out, I don't know if they've added any potions. If they did, we may have to add something else. But this should be a fully functioning thing. Let's make our first potion. Oh, why did that happen? Alright, so now that we have moved the buttons down a row, this is working properly. I also did have to add a little comparator and repeater going the other direction, I realized, because otherwise these buttons wouldn't fire the add-ins, but it works just fine now. And we are getting our potions brewed up properly. Now, the one thing I am worried about is this button doesn't seem to get the correct 3 out, because this puts one extra water bottle in before it turns off. I'm still trying to figure out a workaround for that. Because, yeah, if we do this, what we see is we get a water bottle in here, and one of our Dragon's Breath is stuck in here. And obviously that is not our desirable... Dragon's Breath? Fire resistance potions is stuck in here. And obviously that's not our desirable outcome. So we're going to have to try to figure that out. Alright, well, we did a little bit more work and we got some more things going. I did figure out a way to make this lock properly. You can see we have 3... Whoops. Bad test. You can see we have 3... fire resist potions in here, and we have this full of water bottles. If we hit this button right here, we do end up with 3 fire resist potions in there, and then this fills back up with water bottles. And if we check our hopper, well, we can come up here, we can see there are no water bottles or potions in there. So this is now working properly. We just have to hit that button to cycle through and get the next set ready. We did also add in our fermented spider eye over here as an add-in to alter the potions that need that, as well as adding it in over here to get it. Now I only have 1 fermented spider eye that I've made other than the 2 in the signs. So that is actually empty right now, and this one only has 1 that it can do. Now, obviously, if you wanted to make a potion of weakness, which is pretty much the only reason you would need to start with this, you would have to make sure to turn this off so that you don't get that nether wart, because you can't make a potion of weakness with the awkward potion. You have to start straight with the fermented spider eye. So this now does allow you to make every single potion in the game, except that it's not full. So obviously we need some fermented spider eyes in order to do those ones. And we do need to get some turtle shells in order to do the Turtle Master. But this is good to go. So we can go ahead and make a quick... Oh, I should have turned that on. So we'll actually manually add that in, which we can do. We can do that too, if we ever need to. And we even do have the Dragon's Breath. So the Dragon's Breath is in here, and it is good to go. So it is making up the awkward potion. It has the magma cream there, and then we have the redstone dust right there. So that will do what we need. Alright, well that's going to do it for us today. We have our full brewing system up and running. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, do make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. It certainly helps out the channel. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys next time. And remember, folks, don't get trapped without me. Bye-bye.